Here is the story of how a teacher and her students defined language together, told one by one. 1. The question is posed. In a bright, modern classroom, Ms. Eleanor stands confidently by her desk. The walls are covered in colorful educational charts and a large chalkboard. She looks directly at her students with a warm expression, initiating a class discussion. Today, we're exploring a fundamental concept, she says, gesturing towards the board. I want to hear from you. What is language? 2. The first answer, words and structure. Liam, a thoughtful boy wearing a striped shirt, is the first to respond. Sitting at his desk near Ms. Eleanor, he gestures slightly with his right hand as he formulates his answer. He focuses on the mechanical and formal aspects of communication. He says, I think language is the words we use and how we put them together in sentences. 3. The second answer, beyond the spoken word. Next, Mia, who is sitting nearby and wearing a yellow hoodie, offers a broader definition. She is smiling as she speaks, emphasizing communication that doesn't rely on speech. The classroom background remains bright, showing continuity with the previous scenes. Mia suggests, it's also how we share feelings, like body language or signing, not just speaking. 4. The third answer, a tool for connection. The question moves to the back of the small group. Noah, a boy in a cool red vest, stands up partially. He addresses the teacher, who is observing intently. For Noah, language is primarily a social tool used to bridge gaps between people. He defines it this way. I believe language is a tool we use to connect with other people and share ideas. 5. The final answer, the blueprint of thought. The final student to answer is Chloe, a girl wearing a purple shirt, sitting thoughtfully near the window. She takes a moment, referencing the ideas already discussed, the structure mentioned by Liam, the expressions from Mia, the connection from Noah. Chloe's answer is more abstract, focusing on the internal cognitive process. She concludes, it's like a system in our minds that helps us understand the world and organize our thoughts. Ms. Eleanor nods in agreement, validating the complete, collaborative definition. Having heard her students' thoughtful definitions, Ms. Eleanor decides to synthesize their ideas into an easy-to-understand explanation using simple examples. 1. The synthesis language is a shared code. Back at the front of the classroom, standing before the large chalkboard now cleaned and ready, Ms. Eleanor begins to speak. She references the students' previous answers. You all had great points. Language is structure, expression, and connection, she explains, gesturing with her hands. But in the simplest way. Language is a code we all agree on. It's how we turn thoughts into signals, and signals back into thoughts. 2. Example 1. Spoken language, Liam's concept. Let's see this in action, Ms. Eleanor says, pointing to the board where she has drawn simple sketches of food. She looks at Liam, the student who defined language by words and sentences. When Liam thinks of an apple, she explains, drawing an apple and the word apple on the chalkboard, he creates a thought. By saying apple, he uses the agreed code, English, to turn that thought into a sound signal we all understand. Liam smiles as his initial definition is validated with this simple illustration. 3. Example 2. Gesture language, Mia's concept. Transitioning to Mia's point about nonverbal communication, Ms. Eleanor stands central in the frame, now demonstrating with her body. She mimics a wide grin and 2 thumbs up, physically performing the concept. Mia mentioned other ways, she says, smiling broadly. If I do this, she continues, holding the thumbs up gesture, this is a language too, a shared sign. We all agree it means good job or yes, even though I didn't say a word. Mia nods, recognizing her contribution. 4. Example 3. Written symbol language, a common example. For her final example, Ms. Eleanor turns back to the chalkboard. She draws a simple graphic that everyone immediately recognizes, a bright red octagon with stop written in bold white letters. The entire classroom group, Liam, Mia, Noah, and Chloe, looks at the drawing. And look at this symbol, Ms. Eleanor says, pointing to the chalk drawing. We don't need to speak or gestured. We all agree that this shape and color means stop. That is written language, she concludes, illustrating that the code takes many forms.